Hi friends, welcome to Florence Programming. In this video, I am going to explain about data pre-processing in data mining. So here, I am going to explain the pre-processing steps. Also, I am going to implement this pre-processing using Python code. Let me see what is pre-processing. What is the purpose of pre-processing? See, pre-processing is nothing but we are making ready the data or converting the data as a quality data for applying data mining techniques. So, in the pre-processing, there are 4 steps involved here. The first one is data cleaning, data integration, data reduction, and data transformation. In data cleaning, clean the data. See, sometimes you are collecting data from different group of people. The data may be some may have some mistakes or data may be missed. So such thing we have to handle under data cleaning. So here 2 things we have to take care. One is we have to handle the missing data, and the next one is we have to handle the noisy data. So just we have to clean the data without empty, without error. The data should be cleaned. The next process is data integration. Since we are going to apply some analysis tool, analysis technique, we will collect data from different sources. So all the data we have to integrate together. So while integrating data, we may get some problem of entity identifications or redundancy or correlation problem may occur. So how to handle that? Then the third one is data reduction. So the data reduction in 2 ways we can do. One is dimensionality reduction and another one is numerosity reduction. Dimensionality reduction is just we have to select a subset of attribute for our analysis. That is dimensionality reduction. Numerosity reduction is the number value can be reduced in a smaller format. That is numerosity reduction. Then the fourth one is data transformation. Here we are applying some normalization techniques to normalize all the data in a particular range. So these are the 4 steps we will take place to prepare the data before applying our data analysis techniques. So these are called data pre-processing. Now we will practice. I will explain how to perform all these 4 steps using Python code. So just I'll take you to Python. And say this is our Python ideally. See here, I have created one database here, that is a student database. The file format is ARFF. ARFF, the expansion is attribute relation file format. So here relation is our database, that is the name of the data. This is the syntax strictly we have to follow while creating our data warehouse. The next one, we have to define all the attributes in our data. Attributes is nothing but dimensionality in data warehouse. So here in our case, we have 2, 4, 6, 7 attributes given in this file. Next, we have to define data like this. This is the file I have created for our analysis. So just let me load the file into our Python platform. So just I have a code here to load the file. So here we are using some Python libraries to load the file, that is SciPy. SciPy is the library we are using to load ARFF file into here. Here we can use ARF file or CSV file also we can use. Since I have used the same file in Vika, that is why I am using here ARFF file. So just is SciPy, this is the library we are using to load ARFF, and we can use the method called load ARFF and the path we have to specify. So these will load the file here. Now we have to convert the data into data frame. Since data frame is nothing but rows and column format, so it will be easy for us to access. So that is the first step we have to do. We have to load the data into our Python. So here just I will save the file and I will execute and show the result. Pre-process, sorry. preprocess1, name of the file. So just I'll give run module. See, this is the content of the file, what we have created, that we have taken into our working platform. So this is the first step we have completed. The second step, we are getting to pre-processing step. So before pre-process the data, we have to understand about the data. That is the size of the data, how many null values are there, how many rows, what is the data type of each value. So all these things we have to get understand. So for that, we can use some set of Python code. I'll give you the code here. See, df is our data frame. Shape will give you the number of rows and column in our data set. Then info is another method we can use to display the type of data. Next, describe is another method we can use. It will describe the statistical information about our data. Then data types is another label we can use to get the types of each data we have used in our file. Next, n unique is a method. It will display number of unique value in our data set. Next, is null. Is null is it will print true or false. If the data is null, it will print true, or otherwise it will print false. Next, we can print the percentage of null data, because this is very, very important in our analysis. If the percentage of null is very less, then we can neglect handling the missing data. If the percentage of null is more than 25% or more than 30%, then we have to concentrate on how to handle the missing data. So for that, we need these steps. This is the very important step for our analysis. So just I'll show the result for our data, what we have taken here. See here, this is the shape we have given here. So shape will return number of rows and columns. Next, we have given info will return the type of every attributes in our data file. So it has given here. Next one, describe will give the statistical detail about our data file. And the next one is data type. As I said, it will display the type of values we have stored in our data file. This is float 64 object type. It has given. Next, number of unique value. So number of unique, gender we have used only 2, that is male and female. Then subject 1, subject 2, subject 3, the unique value has given. Similarly, result and placement, the value has given. And the next one is null. Is null we have given here. Just a minute, I have. So here, the is null will print true or false. So just whatever the data is true, the is null, it will print true, or otherwise it will print false. So here, all the data we have. In some places, we are not specifying any data. That's why it has given true here. And the last step, the percentage of null. See, as we have in the subject 3, we have 2 data is null data. So the percentage is 15%. So here the researchers will take decision whether to neglect this or to consider. For that, we have to calculate the percentage of null value in our data set. So this is the second step we have to take place for doing the pre-processing. So the first step, we just load the data here. Then the second step, understand the data. Now, the third step, just we are going to start our pre-processing. That is, the first one is data cleaning process. So data cleaning process, 2 things we are performing here. One is handling the missing data. Another one is handling the noisy data. So just we have some 3 set of methods available to handle the missing data or handle the noisy data. So just see, fill is a method name which will fill whatever the value we have given here, that will be filled instead of NaN. So here, this is our data set what we have taken. So in this data set, we have in two places we have NaN. So suppose you are using fill NaN, you are using means, so instead of NaN, it will fill the data with 0. So just I will show you the result. So just you can see. See here, there is no NaN. Instead of NaN, 0 has been replaced. So this is one method to fill, handling the missing data. Or instead of 0, just whatever the value you are giving, it will fill. So this is one method. Another method, see, simply you are filling with some constant. It may affect your end result. So what we can do, we can fill the missing data with related data. That is, what are the data already available in our data set. Using that, we can fill. So for that, we are using another method, fill NA, and the method name is PAD. That is, it will fill using the previous value. So what the value exists before that, with that value it will be filled. So here more or less all the value will be in a equal range, so our result will not get affected here. So most of the people will use these two methods. Either we can fill with the previous value or we can fill with the next value we can do here. So just I will show the result now. If you try to fill the data with the previous value, you can get, so something is DF1 has given. Yes, our data frame is DF. Yes, just a minute. See here, now the 0 has been filled. See here, it is 0 in subject 3, but here it has filled with the previous value. So it has filled with the previous value. So this is the method we can use. Or otherwise, if you want to fill with the next value, we can use this. Instead of method PAD, you can use BFill. This is the way we can handle the missing data. The next one, how to handle the noisy data. So noisy data is erroneous in the data. So how can I handle the noisy data? So noisy data can be handled using the method interpolate. Interpolate is the method. It helps to fill the noisy data with some value. So here we are using method equal to linear. So here linear method we can use, or max value, min value, average value. Lot of methods are available. You can use with the method. And next one, limit direction. It is in the forward direction. So wherever record pointer is there, from that it will start here. Here two direction you can specify, forward and backward. Here by default it is forward. So interpolate will fill the data, noisy data, with the values, whatever the method we have given, based on that it will fill the value. So just you can see now, just I'll show the result of interpolate. Something happened. NP I didn't included here. That is NumPy I didn't use here. So that is why the error. See here now. Similar to the fill method, the interpolate method fill the value using this existing values here. See here it is filled with some 90 and here it is filled with some 77. So using this method linear, this process has been taken here. So this is the way the first step, data cleaning, takes place. So two method we are using. One is fill NA to handle the missing data, and another one is interpolate to handle the noisy data. We can fill like this, or we can fill using the NaN value. You can use interpolate also. So this is the way. Next, the second step, we can use this data integrations. So the first step, data cleaning. Second step, integration. So data integration is very simple with respect to Python code, since we have one wonderful method called merge method. So using merge method, we can fill the data here. So merge is a method we can use. So two data set I have taken. One is student data set and another data set I have taken student one data set. Here I have created two data frame, DF1 and DF2 data frame we have created. Now I have created one data frame to store the result of merge. So here the merge, just I have applied the merge without specifying in what way to merge. So here the default merge, how it will merge, the common data between two files will be taken here. So just I'll save this. So you see the result. See, these are all the common data between the file student and student one. Since I have just to duplicate the file student and student one, that is why most of the data is common for both student and student one. So this is the first method of merge. The second method of merge, we can specify in what way you can merge. The merge, it will be in two ways we can do. One is inner merge, another one is outer merge. That you can specify in the attribute how. So how we can use, inner is a default. So here it takes place inner. Now I have specified outer. So just you just see what you are getting as the output here. So just I'll make this as here command. See here, see what are in here, we got only the common data between two files. But here, what are the data we have in the file? So just together we got just the output here. So more than that you are getting here. So based on your analysis, you can select what type of merge you want to take place. So accordingly, you can select. Even in merge, still more methods are there. Lot of attributes is also there. This is application specific. So based on your application, you can select the attributes. So this is the second step in data pre-processing. Next, the third step of data pre-processing is data reduction. So how to reduce the size. So in two ways we can apply the data reduction. One is dimensional way we can apply, and the next one is numeric way we can apply this. So just here the dimensionality reduction has been takes place here. So two method we can use, PCA, principal component analysis, and wavelet transformation, discrete wavelet transformation we can use. So in this video, I will show you the wavelet, discrete wavelet transformation, how to perform. So actually discrete wavelet transformation, it has two function. The two function will be iteratively apply on the data. One is weighted sum we have to calculate. The next one is weighted difference we have to calculate. So every step by step, the data will get reduced. So at the last step, the reduced format of data we will get. That is the coefficients we will get. That will be represented in a graph. So that I am going to show this here, how to reduce this and how to show the output result of this data reduction in a graph. So for that, I have used some library, that is matplotlib library, which helps to plot the data in the graph. So here I have taken, I didn't take any data from my data set. For my sample, I have taken some data as a line space. I have created from 0 to 1, the total number 2048. So this is the maximum. And I have taken sine wave for my calculation. So here the sine wave I have calculated. So for this I have used NumPy library for this. Next, matplot, I have three different plots, chart we will get from this program as a result. The first one is all the sine waves, whatever the values we are defining here, all the values we will get as a plot. Next, we will calculate the coefficients. So the approximate coefficient and the detailed coefficient. This will give the result of the data reduction. So here, these steps we have applied our discrete wavelet transformation. So this is the method DWD. So here another library we have used, PyWavelets. So if it is not available in your system, you can install using pip install PyWavelets. So this library is PyWavelets. So that you have to install here. So this method will helps to calculate the coefficients, the reduced format of the coefficients, that is wavelet transformation coefficients. Next, these and all, as you all know that how to plot the data into the graph, x value and y value we are plotting here. So only these steps alone we are using for our data reduction. So just I'll save the file, I'll show the output. So just it will take little time. Yes, as I said, the first graph, all the sine wave value has been plotted here. Now we are going to reduce these coefficients. So just you can see the reduced format now. Yes, see here, approximates 5 levels of calculation has been taken here. Approximates in the first level to see the level 5. First level 0 to 1000, second level 0 to 50, third level at last. So in the fifth level, the values are reached the 0. That is, no pair of values is there. That is why the iteration has stopped here. This is the reduced coefficients. So in this way, we can apply the same technique for our data set. So this is the only method we are using, that is pi wavelet dot DWT, that is discrete wavelet transformation. So these we have to apply here. I hope you understood about this data reduction. Next, the last step, transformation, data transformation. That is, we are transforming all our data in a equal range. So mostly the normalization, what we will practice here, min-max normalization. So min-max normalization, it is very simple. Directly we can apply on the data. So just I will show you the code for transformation. Here, see the same library I have used. See, transformation we can apply only on numeric data. So in my data set, subject 1, subject 2, subject 3, I have taken 3 numeric data. See, directly I have applied. That is x minus x minimum divided by x maximum minus x minimum. This is the min-max normalization formula. The same I have applied for my subject 1, subject 2, subject 3. Only one subject I have printed here. So just I will show the result. When you see, after applying this, all our data will be between 0 to 1. Could you see this? This is our subject 3, the previous result. After we apply the transformation, the subject 3 data has been transformed to 0 to 1. So like this, we have to apply the transformation for all numeric data, so that all the data will fall into the range of 0 to 1, so that we can get the result. The conversion will be very quick, and the time complexity, space complexity will get reduced here, so that we will get better performance in our analysis. Yes, everything fine. Now we have completed all our transformations. Now these transformed data, that is the pre-processed data, has to be write into one file. That file can be used for our analysis purpose. So at last we can use two, that is our df is nothing but our data frame dot to underscore csv. So I am storing the file in my local drive, python 365 slash, the name I am giving here as sample.csv. So just, so whatever the result I have done here, see all the pre-processing steps I have did as a separate file, but not necessary to do that. All the commands you can execute as a whole. So at that end, you can write the output into another CSV file. That file is considered as ready or quality data for our analysis. So here I am writing these output into the CSV file sample. So just I'll show the file here. This is my local drive here. Just sample. Yes, here sample.csv. So that transformed data will be applied here. See here, just subject 1, subject 2, subject 3, I applied transformation in the last coding. So this result has been returned into the output file. So now we can use these file for our analysis purpose. So in data pre-processing, these are the 4 steps we are executing using Python. We can use Python or otherwise we can use Vika. But Vika we cannot customize as per our requirement. But in Python we can customize. So hope you understood about the data pre-processing using Python coding. Thank you.